Hey, what's going on? This is Ricardo of the Code 7 Podcast Network, and we're about to get started with Open Mic Live. But first, as always, a word from our sponsors.
At InDigital, we know that public safety professionals hold themselves to a high standard. In fact, standard doesn't do it justice. In over 25 years working alongside you, carrying millions of calls over our IP networks, your dedication has inspired us. That's why our ESI Net goes beyond industry standards, not only i3 compliant, but designed to adapt to future development for a network you can count on when it matters most. Learn more at indigital.net.
Here in Greenville County, we have 8 different places where a 911 call can be answered.
It is the largest county in South Carolina. It's a challenge.
The type of information that a telecommunicator gets from Radius Plus is location-based technology. You can see where the caller is, if they have a medical issue, if they speak a different language. They're immediately able to text to that caller in their native language. It reduces response times because it immediately gets first responders where they need to be.
If Within the Trenches has ever taught you something, open your eyes to what it is like to be a 911 dispatcher, or has inspired you to become one, then help support us and join our Patreon. Get exclusive bonus content, one-of-a-kind swag, discounts on merchandise, ad-free early access to new episodes, and much more. To join, please visit patreon.com/WTT podcast. And if you're an industry partner, we have something for you as well. And now, for the show.
This is Jordan, and you're listening to the Code 7 Podcast Network.
Warning. This episode contains the 3 A's of podcasting: adult content, adult language, and awesomeness. You've been warned.
Dispatch.
There is no one over here to cook our lunch. We are waiting for our lunch, and there's no one here to cook our lunch.
All right, calm down. Where are you at?
The group home. Now, what are you going to do?
We'll get some help over there for you, okay?
Welcome to Open Mic, where we visit the lighter side of dispatch, because laughing is good medicine. Hey, welcome back from that brief sponsor intro. Once again, this is Ricardo of the Code 7 Podcast Network, and we are about to get started here with Open Mic Live. It is 12/23/21. Tomorrow is Christmas Eve, man, and then Christmas Day. Oh, so much good stuff coming up. And I thought I would look the part, throw on my hat, and got my my Christmas shirt on as well. It's a little warm in this room, so I didn't put on actually my ugly sweater or anything. But I see people jumping in here already. Hello. This live broadcast is sponsored by InDigital, Rapid Deploy, as well as Carbine. Big shout out to patrons as always. Got a lot of stuff going on. And Aaron, thank you so much. Thank you. I appreciate it. Tim, what is going on? James, hello. As always, on Thursdays when we start out Open Mic Live, one, roll call. Where are you watching from? Also, if this is your first time joining us for Open Mic, please throw that in there as well. And then on a scale of 1 to 10, because we always check in with each other, on a scale of 1 to 10, how are you doing? How are you feeling? 1 being shitty, of course, and then 10 being awesome. I would say I'm right at a 10, man. Starting out strong at a 10. It has been it's been a good week. A lot of interesting things happening. A lot of changes coming up in 2022, and I'm excited for all of it. It is going to be superb. So stay tuned for a lot of those things that are going to be coming up, and that I'm going to be talking about. First of the year should have a something coming up, something to be announced right off the bat. So we'll check in with you I'll let you know everything that is going on here shortly. Episode 419 went out, an excellent episode. And actually, no, 418. 419 I'm working on. That was supposed to go out this week, rather. It was supposed to go out this week. However, I'm taking a break because it's the holiday week, and it'll end up going out next week. But patrons will end up getting it probably this weekend sometime. This episode is going to be 419 that's coming up is going to be it's going to be an Imagine Listening episode. And there's a lot that I have to record. And actually, just a quick look, these are just some of the stories that are left for me to type up and then record, and then I'm going to have the rest of that audio. I'm going to try to isolate it as best as possible and bring it in there as well, so that I have all of it from that session. And that was at the Michigan conference. It was part of the keynote that I did during that time. It's going to be an excellent one. And episode 420 will be coming up after that. I'm trying to figure out what to do for that one. I'm sure it'll be something funny that we end up doing, of course, because it's 420. But we'll see how that one goes out. But again, like I mentioned, a lot of different changes that are going to be coming up in 2022. So make sure to look out for those. So I want to look back in here. Let's see. James is a 10. Deborah's a 7. Aaron out of Idaho. Deborah, Virginia. Merry Christmas from a darn chilly Colorado. Mix of snow and rain. Snaps. Yeah. Knock on wood, but that hasn't happened over here in Indiana yet. I was hoping for a white Christmas, that's one of the things that's kind of, that at least for us here, or in places where it does snow, it adds to it, right? It definitely adds to it. So, hey, who knows? It might be a Christmas miracle and we'll end up getting snow. So we'll see what happens. Let's see. James says, caught a drunk with the front end of my car on the way home. What? What? For real? Yeah, probably shouldn't air it live. James says, I am good. Car's okay as well. Dang, dude. Well, I'm glad you're okay. Yeah, I'm definitely glad you're okay. Aaron is a 5. Okay, we'll see if we can get your number up there by the end of this with all the stuff we're going to be talking about. And let's see. James says, besides now, I want to know about the January 1st. You will know here soon enough. As long as everything goes well, you will know here coming up around that time what is going on, or maybe I'll mention it next week. Next week, Thursday, right before the new year. We'll see what happens. Aaron says snow is fab as long as you're off duty. And that's true, because when you're there, like we were talking about last week, when I had my sisters on, it's a pain in the ass, right? Especially because it seems like everyone forgets how to drive in the snow, and then it just goes to hell, and you're there, and you're working like crazy, and you think you're halfway through your shift, and it turns out you've only been there for like 30 minutes or an hour. So disappointing. It's so damn disappointing. So today, what we're going to be talking about, and of course, as always, if you have any funny 911 stories, please throw them in the comments, especially if they have to do, if they involve Christmas time, winter weather, all of that good shit. Because Mandy says, unfortunately, I'll be working nights. Yeah, and that does suck. However, there are some times though when it is snowing like crazy that the public actually listens to the weather report, right? And because they tell them, don't go out, don't drive around, you're going to get stuck, or there's going to be accidents or whatever. That's when it's actually pretty good. There were a few times when I was in dispatch that we were sitting there for about 4 hours, nothing going on. We're just kind of chilling, playing Scrabble, and not a thing, because the officers aren't going out either. a few of the cars that were out on the road or you're just driving, going like 10, 15 miles per hour, trying to make it home. But otherwise, there wouldn't be anything going on. So it's just us there trying to, figure out what to do. And there was one year that for Christmas, I ended up getting World of Warcraft and I put it on my laptop and I had it at work. And 4 hours of not one thing going on. And we're sitting there and I was just playing World of Warcraft. Just waiting for something to happen. Aaron says, I like to tell people the roads are icy and treacherous always. That's a good way to do it. I mean, because that's another thing. People call in all the time, right? People call in all the time and they'll say, can you tell me what the weather is like? Look outside. Or how's the weather on such and such highway? And, if I had time, I'd say, like, it's pretty bad. I would stay home. But, I mean, the way you do it, Aaron, just to every time someone calls in, road conditions are icy and treacherous. And just leave it at that with every person that calls in, even those out on the road. Like, you guys been having a lot of accidents lately? Well, the roads are icy and treacherous. So you be the judge. Let's see. James says, love some of the fire pager test with the with those updates. Yeah, they're really good. He's approaching Atlantic City. Karen says, oh, the weather outside is frightful, ma'am. Have you said that? Okay, hold on. I want to put this on the screen. For those who are watching, in the comments, if someone called in for a weather report or how the weather is, have you said that to them? Oh, she says, I wish. Dude, that would have been great. Yeah, like a 911 or emergency. Yeah, I was just calling, just trying to find out, about weather conditions. I do see that it's snowing, but I was just wondering, maybe you could tell me how things are going out there. Is it okay? Like, should I be driving? Oh, let me tell you, the weather outside is frightful. you know, that the caller would be like, man, you're a smart ass. Like, what do you want me to tell you? Like, it's true. It is true. Uh, so Karen says, I wish. And then she says, add it to your bingo card, folks. That's one thing that I don't remember that we actually had bingo cards out. My old center probably does now, but and I'm sure we heard about other centers who had bingo cards and stuff, but I don't think we actually had any bingo cards to fill out during shifts about certain things like that, road conditions, cars um in the ditch, or however many times people would say the meridian, shit like that. We did not have that. Let's see. Cammy here says challenge accepted. To say that. Oh man, if any of you do end up using that, if you end up responding to someone with, oh, the weather outside is frightful, and definitely sing it, kind of sing it. I want that audio, please. I will FOIA that shit. I will do whatever I need to do to get that so that I can play it on the show, because that is pretty funny. I would be all about that. Aaron says, I also say winter road conditions. But do they ask you to describe that? Like, oh, okay. Well, wait. What does that mean? What do you mean by winter road conditions? Like, are they slick? Should I look out for black ice, or ma'am or sir, that's all under the same tree. That's winter road conditions. All of what you described. Have a good one. Drive safe and Merry Christmas. Let's see. Tammy says the fire is so delightful. Unless it is what? Is that supposed to be a blue fire? Then you got probs. James says, well, the roads were okay when I drove in, but that was 10 hours ago. Although the plows have been out for a while. And then again, the snow has turned to freezing rain now. So, dude, you're not going to answer my question. Nope. Use extreme caution or stay home, sir. Click. And then the person's just like, oh, maybe I'll stay home. But they don't. They don't. They will not stay home. Hold on a minute here. My my Facebook is going nuts, and I think it's because I was asking for people to comment on this one post. So I want to go back and look at it here really quick to see. Yeah, okay, here we go. All right. So Cami says, I totally did bingo cards in 2017 during the eclipse since we were in the path of totality in a town of 1700. We also had the Rainbow Family Gathering at the same time. If you know what that is, my heart goes out to you. I even bought Amazon gift cards for the winners. Yeah, that's great. Did you did was someone able to fill the entire card? Well, not the entire card, but just enough to end up winning. And James says, no, brother, they don't. Right. Yeah, no, they don't stay home. They just continue on because they're like, what do they know? I got this. We're going to go out there. We're going to go and we're going to get what we need to get, which is a 30 pack of hams. Or some Milwaukee's best. Some bullshit that's not worth going out for. But hey, to each their own, right? Whatever. Yeah. Whatever works. Oh, Cammy says, yes, there was 2 winners. All right. That's awesome. Man, what was on that bingo card? That there were actually 2 winners. What shit was going on that night? I can imagine there's probably some regular ones there, like alarm calls or fire calls. I don't know, anything like that. Let me see here. I want to make sure I keep getting all of these ones that are here. Okay. So, oops, wrong one. One of the things that I had put out there, and let me look at my notes because I want to make sure that I got this right here, where I'm going down the line. All right. So one of the calls I wanted to talk about, it's not exactly funny, but it's one that I almost got sued. And I didn't do anything wrong. It was just that the people were saying that they were gonna sue me as well as the dispatch center, and this was years and years ago. So it was one of those nights when nothing was going on. However, it was also like blizzard conditions, and it was to the point where when I was driving into dispatch, I'm pretty sure this one weekend specifically, the first night I drove myself to work. Of course, I drove myself to work, but I when I was going in there, I remember dispatch calling and they said, "Look, we've got like blizzard conditions going on right now, and the plows are out and everything, but it's so cold that it's not doing that much. You can park your car at such and such gas station, and we'll have a deputy meet you there, and they will bring you in." And I said, "Nah, I should be okay. I should be all right. Let me try it this first night because it was it's 3 days over the weekend that I'm going to be working. This was Friday. No, it was Saturday, Sunday, Monday. No, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I was trying to remember how the schedule went. Either way, going in, it is definitely bad weather. And I remember I was freaking out, man. Like I was like white knuckling it. hardcore, because I'm driving in, and when you're going down this main road, this road is called M40, and it would cut my time in half going down M40 to get to the dispatch center, which is like in the middle of nowhere. So I'm driving, and I see cars in the ditch, but the snow is coming so much that as soon as I pass those cars, we don't see them anymore, because that's how much it was snowing, and the visibility and everything was just, it was horrible. And so I'm driving, and it was so bad that I was like kind of opening the window to see if I could look, and I was like, nope, that's not going to work either. So I'm just plugging along, going slow, hoping that I make it to dispatch, because I thought, I'm going to help people. So the good Lord wants me to get there so that I can help people. Please. I'm all praying and everything, white knuckling, and going towards dispatch. And I see something that's kind of flashing on the right side. I was like, what is that? And I'm going and I'm going and I'm going. And I finally get close enough to it. And what do you know? But it is a plow. It's a fucking plow that went into the ditch, and it's tipped over on its side, and the driver is standing on top of that plow. It was a county truck, one of those big ass salt laying plows, man. And all I could think is, if that person in that big ass vehicle cannot make it to wherever they're going, and they're in the ditch on the side, how the hell am I going to make it in a 4-door sedan that has shit for brakes and tires? But you know what? I made it. Of course, I made it, right? I made it into dispatch, even though it freaked me the hell out, but I made it in. And the next couple nights, though, I ended up going to a truck stop that was just north of our county. It was right on the line of the two counties of Allegan and Ottawa, and a deputy actually picked me up and brought me in. But man, that was some shit. That was crazy. But I made it. I ended up making it. So one of those nights, though, I ended up taking a phone call, and it's in the middle of the night, and this lady calls in. She is just hysterical, and she's telling me that her husband was trying to get ahead of the snow. Hold on a minute here. Cammy says, "You close your eyes and do the Carrie Underwood. Jesus, take the wheel." No, you're right. You are correct. Yeah, it was one of those things where you're driving and you're like, please help me make it. Yes. Um, so she says that her husband was going outside to get ahead of all the snow that was coming. And he's got the snow plow out. But what happened, though, was that when he went to turn it on, it wasn't working, and it wasn't spinning. Where it picks up the snow and everything. So he realized that there was something that was caught in there. So it was stuck. So he went ahead and reached in and went to pull it out. And when he dislodged it, it ended up going, and it caught his arm. Now, again, this is in the middle of the night. It's around Christmas time. The snow is really bad, and the plows are no longer out for the rest of the night. So we've got EMS heading over there, and they're a ways away. Not just the fact that they're a ways away, but the weather is slowing them down, because they were trying to get through those, and they were back roads. So in the county, the plows don't even go down the back roads. And so I'm on the phone with them. He's stuck, he's screaming and everything. And I've gone through all of my stuff, and I'm just on there with them, and I'm telling them, do not like try not to move your arm, like don't move it or anything. We're gonna get someone to, that's gonna get there. I had also um put out a page to anyone in the area who might be fire rescue, and luckily a couple houses down there was someone that was there, and they actually ran next door and they helped him out. And the dude was he was they saved him, everything was fine. His arm got jacked a little bit, but listen to this shit. they ended up calling they ended up calling in the dispatch, and they blame me for this guy getting his arm all fucked up and everything. They said that I remember them saying, because I got pulled into the office, and I remember them saying that I had told them to remove his arm and that everything would be okay. And that's why they moved his arm, and his arm got messed up. But several times in the recording, which thank the Lord for the recording, I told them not to move. So obviously nothing happened. But dude, don't blame me for that shit. I will never forget that, because I remember going into the office and I thought, oh, it's Christmas bonus time or something. Maybe I'm going to get some cookies or candy. No, I was told that I was almost going to get sued because this person was blaming me for their jacked arm, but it wasn't. I actually ended up getting put on the high five board because I did so well with the call, but I guess they just wanted someone to blame, man. I don't know. But that's one of the calls that I remember around Christmas time. And oof, man, that one was something else, I'll tell you. What are you gonna do, huh? What can you do? There's not much you can do. But that one was an interesting one for real. Let's see. James says, like, don't remove the rebar from your construction worker's head. Ah, we already did. What? Also, again, if you have any, wait a minute, I missed one here. Deborah says indecent exposure. That was part of your bingo board? Was indecent exposure? I can see that. Yeah, there was a lot of calls that I remember taking where there were indecent exposure type things. But to throw that on the bingo board and be like, and that's the one that you win on, right? You hear someone on the phone, and because every time when someone is on the phone, you repeat out loud what it is that's going on, so that everyone else can can get ready for it, so that they can prepare for what it is that's going on. So then you hear indecent exposure and you mark it really fast. You're like, bingo! I win. What do I win? What do I win? This naked mofo just won me a candy bar or whatever it is that you end up winning. That's pretty funny. All right, let me look over here in my notes. Oh yes, so there were a couple stories for that Imagine Listening session where someone wrote down, and I tell people this all the time, that the first part, we're talking about saves or some of those harder calls, because those are the ones that people bury, right? They're the ones that the people hang on to, but it's good to let that out, because there's a form of closure and healing that we get from sharing those stories. And if people don't want to write them down, or don't want to say them out loud rather, then I have them write them down on a piece of paper. Well, one person ended up putting something on here that says, it's not all bad, which is why I say on stage, it's not all bad. That's why there's open mic, because there's the funny part. So there are a couple of stories here that I want to read. And yes, dispatch isn't all bad. There's a lot of funny that happens, which is exactly what open mic is all about, where we talk about that stuff. Oh, my girl Sarah's up in here. Love the hat, she says. Why, thank you. I appreciate it. So one of the calls here that was shared, it says, two of my favorite calls. So this first one is, there was a couple of 12 or 13-year-old girls who pocket dialed me while singing Spider Pig from the Simpsons movie. So I don't know if you've ever seen that, but in the Simpsons movie, there's a pig that Homer has, and he's holding him up, and he's walking on the ceiling, and he's singing Spider Pig does whatever a Spider Pig does. I don't know the next part, but the last part is he is a spider pig. So that would be funny to answer 911 call, and that's all you hear are two girls singing that over and over. I remember, and I've told this story before, but this little story here kind of reminds me of one of the ones that I had that was a butt dial as well, a misdial, and there were two guys who had called, and it was just an open line though, and I can hear one of the guys is pissed off because of their Halo game that is not working, and they're just like, damn it, I don't know why this game isn't working, this stupid Halo game is not working. They just kept going and going and going, and I'm listening, covering the mouthpiece and laughing because it was hilarious, because I had been like, can you hear me? Are you there? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? And obviously you couldn't. You could hear the, kind of the phone, in the pants pocket or whatever it was where it was at. And I ended up hanging up and calling back, and they answer the phone, and I said, hey, this is 911. I just got a misdial or a hang up call from your cell phone. Is everything okay? And they said, man, no, we didn't call you. And I said, you sure you didn't call me? And they said, no, we didn't call you at all. My phone has been in my pocket this whole time. And I said, oh, okay. And I said, well, did you ever get your Halo game to work? And one of the guys is like, oh, hell no. They're like, I guess I did call. They're like, how did you know about that? I was like, you called, man. I just told you called. And I heard you guys in the background arguing about your Halo game. And he's like, no, man. He's like, we're cool. He's like, sorry about that. And I said, oh, no. You're fine. Everything is good. Those are always fun, especially when someone tells you, no, we didn't call. And then you tell them what was going on. They're like, oh, shit. Okay, yeah, I did call. Everything is fine, though. All right. Don't be a dick. You called. I know you did. The other one here, it says, the second was a woman who had stuffed her cell phone in her sports bra while ironing. She admitted that she had boob dialed 911. Oh, yep. That's exactly what it says. She had stuffed her phone in the sports bra while ironing, and she admitted that she had boob dialed 911. Well done, boobs. Well done. Oh, that is pretty funny. I love that. So I want to play a video here really quick, because I want to talk about some of the stuff that you all did during Christmas time. Now, this can be dispatch stuff, or it can simply be from growing up, because I like to find out this stuff. I like to learn more about all of you, and have you learn about me as well. So I want to ask here really quick. I want to throw this into the comments and get some answers from you all. You can just put it in the comments and I will go ahead and read them. But what I want to know is, what is your favorite or funny Christmas memory or gift growing up? And I've got, there were a lot of people who were answering here. So I want to refresh this really quick and then read over some of these that were sent in. Especially because they bring me back to just a lot of stuff. Okay, let me see here. And then also I will read what you have in the comments here as well. So we're looking at some of the gifts Okay, some of the gifts or funny moments for Christmas or anything like that. One of the things that we did growing up is so the back part of my haunted house. You guys know about my house. That house, it didn't have like a back addition part to it. Like my uncles helped my dad build that back section. And what that back section ended up being was it was my sister's room, my the room for my brother and I, and then the room that was directly behind the kitchen. That was the dining room. But for a while there, it was just completely open. So what we ended up doing was I think it was Christmas and as well as New Year. We ended up having a big party there, which was awesome. Our family used to get together all the time. We were always together. We were always doing so much stuff. It was so much fun. And the one year that we had that we spent the holidays at our place, um, and this happened every year, but I think it was just so much more fun because it was such a big area and there were so many of us there. But I remember the adults doing a gag gift exchange. Do you and your families do this? Have you ever done this? And if so, what are some of the funny ones that you remember? Um, but for us, I remember one of my uncles opening up a present and it was a bra. And everyone is just laughing their asses off. Like it was so funny. And I don't even remember how old I was. I was probably like 6 or something. I was young. Do remember that. But it was also the year that I got an awesome present, and it was Optimus Prime, one of the original Optimus Prime Transformers. One of those that's real metal that if you grabbed onto that bitch and cracked a bitch over the head, you would knock him out. Because now they're plastic. And they did for a little while there do a throwback where they were, metal and stuff, but not like the original ones, man. Not like those big ass Tonka trucks that you could throw at somebody and again, knock them the fuck out. I remember the but another uncle ended up getting like a package of pads of like Kotex or some shit. But it was the funniest thing, man, and it was so much fun just thinking back at all the stuff that we did growing up. And I mean, it's bittersweet, especially now, because there's still a lot of shit going on with COVID and stuff, and in some areas and in some people, they're not getting together or anything. But it's fun to reflect. It's fun to look back at a lot of that because there was so much stuff that happened. I remember those times that we were there. They had 2 punch bowls, and of course, one punch bowl is for the kids. The other punch bowl is for the adults. And the punch had a little bit of Sprite in it, but then it had different liquors. And I remember us trying to get from that other one because they wouldn't allow us to get punch from there for obvious reasons. But us being kids, we were curious, so we were trying to snag it. And no one ever did. No one ever did, man, but it was hilarious shit to to try to do it. But we all had our own gift exchange that we were doing with us kids and stuff, but the adults, it was hilarious because they were just sharing stuff that and I'm pretty sure one of my uncles, someone gave him like a teddy, like lingerie. And that one I only know because of a picture I saw later on as an adult. Because I would not have known what that was as a kid, but seeing pictures later on of people of family members getting this funny shit, it was really good. It was a good time, and there are times that I definitely miss. I'm like Clark Griswold in a way where I want that big family Christmas, and whatever bullshit happens, I'm gonna go through it and make sure that everyone has a good time, no matter what. Let's see. James here says my entire family would spend the weekend after Christmas in a hotel in Lancaster, PA. We had a family room with a TV and a VCR machine. I brought my South Park first season set and put it on. Let's say grandma and my mother weren't impressed. They didn't like what is it? Mr. Hanky, right? The Christmas poo. There was one Christmas I remember. It was also like South Park first starting out, and I remember watching it with my cousins. We're like, "What the hell is this? Like, this is a cartoon, but they're swearing and talking about shit that you would never think, and they're little kids too." That was some funny shit too. Yes, that was really funny, and the adults who were walking in at the time, they did not like it. Exactly, that's the one, the Christmas poo one. Yes, yes. That is the shit. Um, let me see here. So, as we're talking about gifts, I want to play a video, and it's a video that I have played before, but it is just as funny because I want to know if any of you have done this as well. So let me play this here. And mom, if you're in the comments and watching, I love you. Okay, hold on a minute here. Let me click on it. And I need to switch my settings here so that you can actually hear it. All right, here we go. So that's my brother Nando. Hello, Nando. And of course, that's my tall ass over there wearing Chicago Bulls favorite team at the time. And then my little sisters are running around there. And as you can see, it's 10:39 p.m. Christmas Eve, 1992. Whoa, that was a long time ago. Holy shit. Okay, let's continue. So my brother just got a present. So he wasn't supposed to get that. Look at him. Oh, my brother's the cutest. He's all holding the game up like he just got the Triforce of Wisdom. So, as you heard my mom say right there, he wasn't supposed to get that until the following day. So, I'm trying to jump in to kind of do damage control a little bit, but he doesn't want to give up the controller. It was a Sega Genesis controller. He does not want to give it up. As you'll see here in a second, I have to kind of yank it from him. which is kind of a dick move, but I was trying to continue it because I'm pretty sure there's a spot here where you see me smile at my mom.
Well, you better not let she hold on to that. No. Just wait. Wait till tomorrow. That's a secret thing. You have to wait till
tomorrow. Oh man. Yep. That happened. Have any of you ever done that? Again, like I said, Mom, I love you. We love you. That was the best. That was the year that I've talked about where our dad wasn't there. Our dad was in Texas with his siblings because my grandmother, their mom, was very, very sick, and they were not sure at the time if she was going to make it. So he was in Texas for a couple months, and leading up to that Christmas Eve and Christmas Day, um, we were we were practicing for a nativity play that we were going to do at my aunt's house, and all the family was going to be there, and we were going to do this play, and we were going to sing Christmas carols, and we were going to do a bunch of different things that we that we used to do to have fun and stuff. And during the time that we were um, practicing, we ended up going home, and I'm holding on to my mom's big ass sewing machine, and we get to the house, and on the inside of the house in the living room, that the door leading into the living room, we had this big old section of bells that we hung there. So every time someone opened the door, you could hear it. It's a cling, 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 like real, real loud. And I remember when we got in there, we got into the little porch area. I was the first one going in because I had the sewing machine, and I go to open the door, and the door just opens, and the bells are going off. And I remember hearing, oh, I can hear it right now, hearing the bells, getting the chills, and then just I froze. And I turned around and looked at my mom, and I said, "Did you leave the door unlocked and open?" And she goes, "No, I didn't." And you could see where the door had been kicked in, and whew, we all turned around and hauled ass. My mom, or my grandmother, is like in her mid 70s maybe at the time, and maybe younger than that. I'm not sure, but man, I've never seen her move so fast. Probably because my mom was basically carrying her. And we get back to the car, and we haul ass. We take off. We go all the way back to my aunt's house, which is like 30 minutes away. And we're there. My mom ends up calling the cops. We end up going back to the house in back of our house. We had another house there that we rented out. And at the time, my aunt was living there. And all of us kids, we end up chilling there with her and my cousins, and my mom is going through the house with one of the deputies, and they didn't steal anything. All they stole was clothes. None of our presents, anything like that. All it was just clothes that was stolen. Well, we stayed away for like a week or so. One of my uncles ended up changing all the locks, as well as added deadbolts and everything. And that first night that we were there, that we went back home and went to sleep, we all slept in my grandmother's room because we were freaked out. We were scared. And I remember us finally, I remember finally crashing out and then waking up in the middle of the night. And I heard my mom talking to some dude that wasn't my dad. And I opened the door, and it was a deputy. And I'm thinking, what the hell happened? What happened while we were all sleeping? So when the deputy leaves, I remember going out there, and I asked my mom what was going on, and she said that she woke up to some knocking, and so she went over. So our living room had this sliding door on the side of the house, and she said that when she went out there to see what the noise was, she could see like the silhouette of a person, and you could see them. They were trying to pull on the door. They were yanking on it, and but we had like this stick that was there, so there was no way that they could get in other than breaking the glass. So she said that she was standing there, and she was telling the person that she had already called the cops, that they needed to leave, that she had a gun, and the person finally did leave. But that was a Christmas that I will never forget. Never, because that happened. The house was broken into, dad wasn't there, and then the video that I showed you just a little bit ago, that there's so much different things that happen. Um, but it's stuff that I'll always remember, and stuff that I'll tell my kids about as well, because that was a crazy Christmas. See Jason popping in here. Love your podcast. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. Shout out to you. Thank you for the support. Um, let's see. James says my younger brother came out to find his huge pile of. Oh wait, let me go back up one. My older brother Rob and I got fake coal under the tree. After we walked out to find it, mom and dad brought out the real gifts. That's funny. My younger brother came out to find his huge pile of toys. Apparently, we hadn't been nice to him in the weeks leading up to Christmas. Oh man, I bet you were shitting bricks too, or coal. Don says, not the funeral home. Oh yeah, yes. Talking about that home, yes, but just what happened during Christmas. None of the scary haunting shit. None of that stuff. I'm not talking about that. Just some of the stuff that are, from Christmas time and everything, and that specific Christmas. But what were some of your gifts that you loved? That you remember growing up, or present day. Either one, works as well. um, I want to read some of the ones that were sent in here. So let me look at this one here really quick. And I just want to make sure I have them all. Um, let's see. Oh, it looks like someone just sent me some audio too. Oh, let me see if I can play it. Hold on a minute. I want to see if I can look it up here really quick, and then I'll read off some of those that were mentioned here as well. So James says, best gift, GI Joe aircraft carrier. It's up in the attic. Oh no shit, you still have it? For real, dude? That is awesome. Um, I'm looking at this here. Okay, I'm gonna play this here in just a moment. To my homeboy who sent this, thank you. I'm gonna go ahead and play this, but hopefully, let's see, what is this? Oh, dude, it's a wave for real. Oh, hold on a minute here. Let me see. It's only 44 seconds long. Okay, cool. All right, I'm going to see if I can play this. Now, I want to read some of this other stuff here too. Don says, my standout Christmas gift fiasco. My mom had stacked a bunch of my presents, and somehow my dog peed between two of the boxes. What? What an asshole dog. The dog was probably like, you didn't give me anything. I'm going to piss on these boxes. Oh, that is funny. Oh, that is good stuff. Okay, so here's one here that says, waking up to my own, I saw mommy kissing Santa. And that was in 1966. um, let's see. This one says, not exactly one Christmas, but honestly, one of my favorite memories are of our tree decorations. LOL. Grew up watching Doctor Who, and we had a musical telephone booth I would turn on every year. Then a few hollow houses for you to put up a Christmas light in to make them glow from their windows. It was little things like that. See, yes, I like that as well. Those are good things to remember. It's just like the old school Christmas lights, right? They're real huge, like thick and colorful, and they actually they made a comeback because you can buy them anywhere now. They're like retro lights or something like that, and you can buy them. They're not exactly the same as those originals, but they still look like it, and get you all nostalgic and everything. Those I like. I ended up buying some of those for my brother. My brother recently purchased a home, and he's just moving in. I ended up going to Meyer and bought him a little Christmas tree and some of those lights, and my kids and I ended up going over to his place, and we set it up, and it looks all cool. I'll have to share a picture soon enough, but those lights were awesome, and that's one of the things that reminds me of Christmas as well. Just like this person posted here, those little things, those lights, that always makes me think, one, of course, about Christmas, but two, about my upbringing. Those are the lights that I remember, those big ass ones, especially because they would, yes, Dawn, those giant bulbs, those giant colorful bulbs, and they would get hot real fast, like real easy. Like we would have those lights on all the time, and you walk by it and you hit your arm on it. It's like, you're like, ah, like that shit is hot. Oh man, yes. That that was those were really good. Those were always fun. But yes, they were really hot, and you would walk by them and just yep, I remember that. Another one here says, walking into the basement where my parents had my first drum set up. 1988 is when that happened. That's a cool thing too. You go down there, and you see that drum set and you're like, oh. This one here says 1 year, all three of us kids got the stomach flu. Bad. Oh, that sucks. Dad went all out that year and got us all these huge fancy mountain bikes and was so excited to give them to us. And we all stood next to them sobbing and disoriented from fevers while Dad snapped a picture. Greatest picture ever. Oh man. That is that is awesome and sad at the same time. If you have that picture though, I would love to see that because I can just see it in my head, and you're right. Greatest picture ever. Let's see. Don says Charlie Brown Christmas, Rudolph, Santa Claus is coming to town. That's what makes me think of childhood Christmases. Yes. Yeah. Yes, for real. So I always remember CBS watching Charlie Brown Christmas, the Garfield holiday special, as well as Rudolph and all of those. The claymation one. Do you remember the claymation one? That one was the shit. Um, but CBS, right before the cartoon started, it had that intro and it showed like special, and it was just twisting and twisting, and it was like drums. It was like dun, dun, ticka, 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 dun, 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 and it said like special or something like that. And then Christmas time is here. And then it would start. You're like, oh, it's starting, it's starting. Oh man. Yep. That one was the shit. Every time I see that, it reminds me of that. Let me see. Oh, let's see if I can find it here. All right, hold on a minute. Oh, I think I found it. Okay, hold on a minute here. I want to see if I can play this. All right, here we go. Yeah, that was it right there. Yes. Oh man. That's how you knew that those specials were coming on when you'd see that going in and then dun, dun, dun. I think I did a good impression of it as well. But that was the one. Oh my god. Yes. I was just going to say the same thing, Don. Straight up flashback. That is exactly what it was. You'd be sitting there, the snow is coming down, you're waiting for the cartoon to start, commercials going, and then bam, that happens. You're like, ah, it's going to start. It's going to start. Yeah. Oh man, that was the best. That was always good right there. Let me see. James says, greatest picture of us, all three brothers with footy pajamas unwrapping gifts. Hell yeah. Don and the dance when Schroeder is playing piano and Pigpen is playing the bass. Hell yeah. Oh man. Yep. Takes me back. Takes me back. Love those. Let me see here. So this other one says, best Christmas ever was getting a Nintendo. I was so surprised. Yeah. See, that's another one. Nintendo. And there's another person here actually, James, their favorite was G.I. Joe aircraft carrier as well. 1988, they said, hands down. Another person here says, 1 year we got 2 puppies. That was awesome. But my best Christmas present ever was a flute. Nice. That is excellent. And having to blow the cartridges. Yes. Yeah, for some reason. And everyone has their own way of doing it, right? You would have it and you go Everyone they would either go this way or they would go up and down. And and I remember some of those games would get super hot. And one time, my mom got the game cartridge and she put it in the freezer. Yes, my mom got the game that we had been playing all day because then it started messing up. And you remember with Nintendo, when the game would mess up, it would just flash. The screen would flash green, sometimes blue, but most of the time green. And it just wasn't playing anymore. You're like, damn, what do we do now? So I remember pulling out the game and it was super hot and stuff. And I told my mom, and I said, this thing is real hot and stuff. I don't know what else to do. We were playing this game. And she goes, well, let me try something. And she grabbed the cartridge and she put it in the freezer and waited like 5 minutes. And then it was super cold. And then when we put it back in the game or the Nintendo, it played. It was fine. That was one of the things that we did. Don says, I'm over here nodding my head like you can see me. Jeez. Oh, that is funny shit. Mandy says, back in the UK, it was the Queen's Speech, Top of the Pops, Top 40 TV show, and then Doctor Who, classic English sci-fi. Very nice. Very nice. I like that. Don says, it ain't FaceTime, dummy. Okay. Well, I want to play this audio here that was sent to me, so hopefully you can hear it. Here we go.
The balls of Holly.
What happened? It's not playing anymore. Oh, it stopped. Damn it. Okay, hold on. Let me see. Let me see if I can play this somehow. See, because this is it's a wave. So I'm on a Mac. So I'm trying to see if I can get this to play without having to like do a bunch of crazy shit. So you could hear it a little bit, but then it stopped, and I'm not sure why it stopped. Let me see if I can play it on this other player here. So give me just a second as I'm doing this. But what the person who sent it in said that it was it's an open mic.
The balls of Holly. What is this? Rah, 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 rah. Rah, 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 rah. Huh? You know you got an open mic. That's a mighty fine singing.
Oh my God. So I hope you could hear that. So the person who sent it in said this was a dispatcher who had an open mic. We were watching A Christmas Story at the time when they were at the Chinese restaurant. Oh, that's hilarious, man. Right there at the end. Like, you have an open mic. To my homeboy who sent that in, thank you so much. That is funny. I like that. I can just imagine everyone out there on the out on the road in the field, and they're like, "What? Like, what the hell is going on?" Oh, that's the shit. Some of the other things for me, it was just a bunch of Nintendo games that we ended up getting. I mentioned the Optimus Prime. That one was a good one as well. And then remote control cars. We ended up getting a lot of remote control cars, which we loved. But of course, I would ramp those remote control cars. My brother and I would, and I would start it. Of course, I would start it. and I ended up, we had this big deck behind the house, and I would make a ramp at the very top where the stairs were, and we would punch that going all the way, and you could see it just ring, and it would get so much air, and then it would just crash into whatever we had down there. Oh man, it was so much fun. But we also had wrestling buddies. Do you remember those? Do you remember the wrestling buddies? See if I have oh, here we go. So here's a picture. Let me see. I want to make sure that okay. Wrestling buddies. We ended up getting Hulk Hogan as well um as Ultimate Warrior. So there they are right there. One year we ended up getting these, and it was the best. It was the best thing one of the best things that we got was those Hulk Hogan and Ultimate Warrior, and my brother and I would wrestle the shit out of those. And there was one time I remember my dad yelling at us. We got in trouble for wrestling with them, and it wasn't what we were doing to, like, to each other or to those wrestling buddies. It was the fact that dad got home from work and found us on the roof of, well, both of his 57 Chevy Nomads. He was restoring them and and we were doing our own like backyard wrestling type thing. So we did our entrance right onto the deck, and then we got on top of those 57 Chevys, and we were wrestling with those, doing suplexes, body slams on the hood and on the roof, and we would throw them down onto the ground, and we would Macho Man elbow drop flying and landing on those things. But we were on the roof of one of the cars, and my dad got home and he's like, "Hey, what are you guys doing? What the hell are you guys doing?" And we're like, "Ah!" We're like, "Run!" We lived there. There was no other place we could go though, so we had to come back. Oh man, we got our asses handed to us. As adults, now we realize why dad was pissed off that we were on these 57 Chevys, because to us they were just some junk cars that were there. We didn't know any better. So we're wrestling on those things and just like destroying the roof. Luckily it wasn't anything too bad. It was fine. Those cars are resilient. But we had a lot of fun. We had a lot of fun with it and everything. And it's just one more thing, that makes me think about Christmas and some of the favorite ones that we had. And now there are different things that have happened, like my dad visiting, and we had some Nerf guns, and my dad comes walking out of the bathroom, and I have the gun, and the way I have the camera, it almost looks like, first person shooter style. And he's like, "Oh," and he turns around and goes to run, and I shoot him right I shoot him right in his back. And it was the funniest shit. Before we go off air here, I want to see if I can find it, because it was pretty damn funny. And I joke with him about it sometimes, but man, he ended up getting me back though. He did get me back um later on that day. So I'm just looking at my videos here really quick just to see if I have it. Um oh man, come on. It's got to be here somewhere. Oh, I think I got it here. Okay. This is so okay. I'm going to show you this here. All right. This is me holding on to the Nerf gun, and my dad's going to come out of the bathroom. Now, I fake the shot, and then I shoot him in the back. So here we go. Oh man, that's hilarious. When my dad comes for Christmas this weekend, I'm gonna have to show him this video. But I'm pretty sure that was Christmas morning, or it was the Christmas morning. I uploaded it a day later, but it was Christmas morning, and we had been shooting each other with these Nerf guns already for a while, and he got me pretty good. So I was waiting for him to come out of the bathroom, and you saw what happened there. Oh man, that was such a good time. Funny shit. Well, I am going to wrap up here. I hope you had fun sharing these stories, kind of going back in time to us growing up, Christmas and everything else, and just sharing some of the funny shit that happened, whether it be Christmas wise or some of the calls that came in, just all of it. I hope you had a good time. I am way above a 10 now. Throw your numbers in there, see what you're at now. I hope we were able to get your number up from where it was before, and we were able to share some laughs and everything else, because that's what open mic is all about. We come on and we share some funny 911 stories, or just some funny situations, some different things that we talk about, just like I was talking about last week with my sisters. And it is always a good time to be here with all of you. And thank you so much for everything and for the support. 2021 was a great year for Within the Trenches Media, which covers the podcast, open mic. Imagine listening, the Dispatchers Roundtable, all of it. And 2022 is going to be even better. And again, there are announcements that are going to be coming up, some changes, but changes for the good. And there's so much that's going to be coming up. I can't even begin to start. But again, thank you for the support. And if you have the holiday off, have an excellent one. If you're working the holiday, have an excellent one as well. And thank you for the job that you do. I think out of all the time that I worked in dispatch, there were maybe 2 or 3 times that I actually had the holiday off. However, it was a lot of fun being there Christmas time as well, and exchanging gifts with my 911 family, and the officers and those who would come in and bring food or just hang out with us for that amount of time and everything. So that was always fun. I remember those times as well. Our dispatch center, looking outside, was on an all sport lake. We were in a wooded area, so when the snow was coming down, it was just gorgeous. It was beautiful, and you would see deer walking around and everything else. And I remember I would just stand outside when there was nothing going on. I would just stand outside in the back and just take it all in. So if you're working, thank you again for everything that you do, and just all of it. There's not enough words to say thank you other than that. So thank you all so much for the job that you do, especially in the holidays, when I know you would want to be with your family, but you're also with your public safety family as well. So thank you so much for that. Don says, now that I'm the director, I don't go back until Tuesday morning. Damn, look at you. Very nice. Enjoy it. Enjoy it. As always, this live broadcast is sponsored by Digital Rapid Deploy as well as Carbine. If you have any comments, questions, or you want to be a guest on the show, you can email us, and that'll be wttpodcast@gmail.com. You can follow us on Twitter. That is @91podcast. You can like us on Facebook. That is facebook.com/Within the Trenches Podcast. If you're looking for any bonus content, you can join and support us on patreon.com/WTT podcast. A lot of new bonus stuff that's going to be coming in for that as well. You can see this on, Facebook, YouTube, as well as Twitter. And for those who are patrons of the podcast, a perk for patrons only, you get audio versions of the Dispatchers Roundtable as well as open mic. And there are more DRT episodes that are coming up. I have a bunch lined up, so make sure to stay tuned for that. And then you can listen to the show 24/7 on Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Spotify, your favorite podcasting app, and withinthetrenches.net. Merry Christmas, everyone. Have an excellent one. Stay safe, and I will talk to you soon. We'll see you in the next one.